People continue to report possible violations to health orders in Colorado Springs, and the popular pickleball courts at Monument Valley Park have become a frequent target. The Parks and Rec director says last week 19 of the 23 complaints his office received were about those courts. That's where we find News Channel 13's Scott Harrison tonight with reaction to this situation. Scott?
Well, the pickleball courts here are, as you might expect, dark at night. But that's about to change because some lights are going to be installed here over the next few weeks to give you a better look at this time of the night. Now, the complaints focused on pickleball players who are gathering in groups of more than 10 or are in closer contact than the recommended 6 feet. But the city and the head of the local pickleball association believe that the complaints are more misperception than actual violations. The popular pickleball courts at Monument Valley Park in the Springs are closed, but not because of coronavirus fears or recent complaints about possible health order violations. A project to install lights, allowing players to play later, starts soon. Still, although parks have remained open, things aren't quite the same here.
And then now, since the shelter in place, I just play with my husband. And I think the majority of people have been doing a really good job following all the orders from what I've seen down here.
But 19 complaints in a week has the city investigating the matter.
Because you don't want to share equipment and surfaces with folks. And so that's a lot of what we were hearing, concerns around that. Even if they were truly family members and such, you just don't know. People don't know for sure.
This is how the pickleball courts normally look. Full of activity. Players are very dedicated, but most realize the need for voluntary compliance.
We're not the pickleball police.
Joseph Johnson heads the 1,400-member Pikes Peak Pickleball Association.
We can't control people coming to play on their own, but our memberships has been made aware that they're not supposed to just come down and play pickup games and do things that were being reported.
Johnson says players now use their own balls, wear gloves, sanitize their hands, and maintain social distancing. The project to light these pickleball courts is expected to be finished sometime next month. By then, the city hopes that any lack of social distancing here will no longer be a problem. And the city also feels there's no need to post someone out here regularly to enforce those social distancing guidelines. The Players Association says most courts across the country are closed, so players don't want to take their facility for granted and don't want you to misunderstand what they're doing here. And to further cooperate with health authorities, the Pickleball Players Association has canceled or postponed its scheduled events here. We are live in Colorado Springs tonight. Scott Harrison, KRDO News Channel 13.